Aloha everyone, Joshua Hayes at bigwavetrading.com. Stock market indexes had a pretty decent session overall. The New York Stock Exchange, SPY, DIA, they all rallied today, but they had pretty good percent gains, but you can see they're kind of lagging a lot. But the good news is that compared to the NASDAQ, is what I was comparing it to, the NASDAQ hit new all-time highs today. So did the NASDAQ 100. And as you can see, volume was heavier than the session before and well above the recent up days that we've had lately in the market. Still below average, but it's good to see that volume jump. But that being said, it would be nice, it'd be really nice if the Dow Jones Industrial Average and S&P 500 could start building on these gains with volume. The lower volume continues to be problematic. And then even more problematic, I looked at the DJT, the IYT. This thing is lagging pretty bad. I want to see this along. So the best markets, when you can really push it into brand new long positions with great signals, is when the Dow Jones Transportation Average, NASDAQ, Russell 2000 are leading, and or all of the indexes are uptrending, and or there's multiple indexes trending up with higher volume. When you only have a few indexes trending higher, the big ones moving sideways, and you have lower volume during that move up, like once again, the Russell 2000 higher today, lower volume than the recent selling sessions. You know, it's kind of hard to really be gung-ho with new long positions. So with that being said, the MO continues. Small, measured positions, multiple stops, mostly tight, some loose on really good ones, but still not opening it up too much. Today's gains, basically, remember I told you about the IBD put call. It hit 1.03 yesterday. That was kind of your tell that short term the crowd got a little too bull or bearish. And at the same time, the New York Stock Exchange advanced decline line bounced back nicely today. But getting back to that put call ratio, it did fall back down to like 0.75 today. So the crowd was into today's gains. And so far, as I make this video, futures are up around 0.10 to 0.20% on all the indexes. So it looks like we're going to follow through. And with all that being said, let that take us to our stops. As you can see, intraday today. These are the limit orders that filled as they filled. CGC took a while. The only order to not fill was ABIL, my new speculative long position. It actually traded to my limit price. Didn't trigger my orders, so no position there. But the rest of it, as you can see, a lot of partial profit stops. AVGR, partial profit stop. RSEV, that was a sell stop. BSTI, the final stop. I think that's for very small gains. I think the entry is like 1054, so very tiny gains. MOV, partial profit stop. SRI, partial profit stop. OGEN, fail, very small losses. APTO failed on my end, very small losses. HBIO, a third profit stop. AMOT, basically left with, I think it was just very small gains. I don't know what that was, but it was a profit stop. APRI was a sell stop for small losses. CELC, a sell stop for small losses. SURF was a profit stop. FOX was a profit stop. But as you can see, these are all partial except for APTO, OGEN, BSTI. Besides those three right there, the rest are partial stops, which means I did not raise a whole lot of cash. So before I get to the new long positions, let's go over the end of day sell signals with that in mind, that I did not raise a lot of cash. There are only two full sell signals of quality basis on an end of day basis in quality, quote quality positions. LABD, this hedge failed. 2165 is a close below the 2169 621 low a day. That is a 100% sell signal. And then the only other 100% end of day sell signal is the one that hit my final stop. I guess it must have been there. 1068 got down to 1060. So yeah, that must have been it. So I had my final stop right here, 1068. My entry is back here. So like I said, left with gains, but with it closing below 1070, with it closing below this low a day here, this low a day is not that important anymore with the heavier above average volume. That's a complete rollover with three lower lows and a heavier volume close below very important support level. With it clipping my stop right here intraday, that's a 100% end of day sell signal. I don't need to wait to issue that on an end of day basis for a close below the one. Well, actually it is. Nope. It's just 2 cents away, so I don't need to wait for a close below that. to issue the full sell signal, because even if it does that, it'll be below the 200-day and be a full sell signal. So it's up to you. If you're still long, you could use, you got to use 1060. Yeah, so that has to be your final stop. Okay, so those are end of day sell signals. So now going over that with LABD, BSTI being the only end of day sell signals, with only those few partial profit stops and partial sell stops, and the OGEN and BSTI failure where I'm already out of most of it, I only have 2% capital on hand for these 7 new long positions. So the asset allocation I would let's say that I had enough capital to do what I normally do. I would put 2.5% into BFST. I would put 1.5% into FNHC. I would put 1% into PRMW. I would put 0.75% into CASI, 0.75% into HELI, and 0.5% into MYRG and AAXN. So 7 new long signals. AAXN, this one comes from the Cancelim Perfect Speculator Scan quality. PRMW comes from the Cancelim, CASI from the Perfect Speculator, FNHC, Perfect Speculator and Cancelim, BFST, Cancelim and an IPO, MYRG will be Future Cancelim, Heli, Cancelim. So all high quality stocks. But like I said, I only have 2% of my account capital. So I was going to do was split it evenly amongst the 7 names. Then I decided I was going to focus. Basically, so what I have left would then lead to me putting $2,000 in the best looking positions and me putting only $1,000 into stocks like AAXN because it's 2 times extended from both its 10 and 20-day moving average, MYRG, which is also extended from its 10 and 20-day moving average, and then what is the other one? That's MYRG, and then Heli, I guess, because it's also extended from its 10 and 20-day moving average, but it's an earnings winner, so it's a different situation. But I guess since it triggered first in the price volume BOP scan, that's where my brain's going with that one. But the bottom line is, you'll see right here, let's just go ahead and show you. MYRG, you can see the white and magenta line extended from both of them. HELE extended from both of them. AAXN extended from both of them. So that was my idea. 2,000 those previous names, 1,000 these names. But after further consideration, I decided I want to concentrate in the best. So at the opening bell, I am not going to take a position in AAXN, MYR or MYRG. I'm going to let the other orders fill because I want to make sure I get a position in every other one, and then I will go in and attempt to buy MYRG and AAXN if I can. And then also, so with that being said, then what I want to do then is take what the remaining capital that I have, the around $10,000, and split it evenly amongst the 5 stocks: HELE, BFST, FNHC, CASI, and PRMW. It's amazing I can keep all of this in order. So now with all of that being said, let's get to each signal. AAXN, Perfect Speculator, Cancelim quality, limit order 68.94, multiple stops 65.52, 63, and then the final one, I can't remember where that's at right here, 61.56. But that would only be 0.5% of my account capital normally. PRMW, this is 1% of my account capital. Cancelim quality stock. This is a great setup, but it's not a great signal. Why? There's no huge volume surge, no pocket pivot point signal, and it would have been better if it would have like consolidated this way to the 50 and then printed this candle. But this is a chart that I really like, but I don't love because there's no huge volume surge. But it's a very safe signal, especially if you just use this stop level here and this stop level here. If you just use that level and this level, your potential reward is that previous measure move to very low risk. So PRMW is supposed to be 1% of my capital. Limit order 1667. Excuse me. First cut loss 1614. Second cut loss 1556. Third cut loss 1486. Final cut loss for me personally 1452. Just like always, if you take this position, I kind of just want you guys to focus on those 2 stops right there. CASI, Perfect Speculator scan, max green bop for 5 days scan, extended from its 20-day moving average, so it's supposed to be 0.75% of my account capital. Still want to do a limit order at the high of the day, 757. First cut loss, 684. second cut loss 622, final cut loss 515. Then FNHC, this is Can Slim and Perfect Speculator, 1.5% of my capital, limit order 22.83, first cut loss 22.17, final cut loss 21.45. BFST, this was in my IPO scan, Can Slim scan, Green Bot for the past 20-day scan, and Max Green Bot for the past 5-day scan. So it should be 2.5% of my account capital. Oops, whoops. Limit order, BFST, 25.29. First cut loss level, 24.89. Final cut loss level, 24.13. I will probably, since it's going to be such a reduced position, it's supposed to be larger, we'll probably only be using this level right here as my only stop. Full fair disclosure. MYRG, 0.5% of my account capital. This is my price volume BOP surge scan, but it's a future Can Slim quality stock. Limit order 38.52. First cut loss level 37.29 right there. Then 35.87. Then 35. And then 34.12. And then Heli, H-E-L-E, earnings winner, pull back with the Max Green BOP, found support basically at the gap up sessions, low of day, had a shakeout slightly below it and then reversed back to close near its high for a hammer candle price bar right at that earnings victory low of day area. Want to get long 0.75% of my account capital. It was Can Slim in my price volume BOP surge scan. You got to half it since it's extended. If you wanted to, you could then half it again or drop it down to 0.5%, but I would do 0.75% because your main risk is right there. Limit order 113.40. First cut loss 109.95. Final cut loss 100.05. All right, everyone. We'll see how this all plays out on Friday. Not only do I have those orders that I needed, so AAXN and MYRG I'll have to try to take after I start raising capital. But after that, I don't have a position in ABIL, so I have to try to get that. TTI, I still have to try to get a position in. MCF, I still have to try to get a position in. ORN, and then VSTM, since it lost its green BOP, I'm just going to go ahead and forget about that one. All right, everyone, I'll see you in the chat room on Friday morning. Aloha.